What it is, y'all, it's your old boy Pilk, and I'm coming back today with more Danmachi. Now, I'm gonna have an interesting discussion with you guys today, and I'm just gonna do some just basic stuff while we're talking about this, but I want to really talk about free-to-play versus, you know, the whales versus all that good stuff, because there's just been a lot of talk lately. Like I said, I'm just gonna do my dailies in the background. We're talking about this. There's been a lot of talk lately in one of the other games that I play about, you know, how unfair it is for the pay-to-win people and all that good stuff. And let's just break one thing down here, guys. Most gacha games, in fact, all gacha games are a for-profit system, okay? So the whales will always have an advantage. Now, one of the things that I always talk about, why I always recommend this game, why I always really, like, tout this game highly, is that for the most part, this game gives away an insane amount of, just a ridiculous amount of in-game currency. If you really play your cards right, you can basically free play this game and get to King 3, maybe even King 1 in every war game and top 1000 in every Record Buster. Like, if you really try. Like, admittedly, you've got to, like, know the team building. You got to know all those aspects of it. But, you know, doing your dailies, we get a decent amount of it. They even give you options now where you can watch ads. Yes, I know. But if you think about it, watch 5 ads a day. That's 2.5 minutes of your time, hopefully. Hopefully you don't get one of those long ads or one of the really obnoxious ads, which is the reason we don't do those on stream or even on camera anymore. And you can get up to 50, maybe even more iris a day just out of that, and your dailies and all that good stuff. So this game has an incredible free-to-play, I guess, potential to it. So I would argue, and I kind of have scaled back my whaling in this game over the last year for various reasons. Been doing updates to the studio and you know, doing other things to help you guys, you know, help the quality of life for the people that come to the streams. But the reality is, in getting back to the whaling portion of this game, for those of you that are whales, has something I don't know if you've realized yet is one of the biggest benefits of any game out there. Period. End of discussion. So, while the free-to-play players, yes, you guys probably aren't going to be, you know, hero ranked or aren't going to be any of that stuff, unless you really play your cards right. Like, you've got to really know that it is possible. There are some people out there that are free-to-play that are probably in hero rank most of the year. Maybe not all the year, but most of the year. You know, they're going to be top 10, top 30, top 50, whatever, in Record Buster because they know the meta, because they can, you know, perceive things coming. Or they just save and, you know, maybe miss 1, 2, but the vast majority of the year, they just are able to easily foresee what's coming here and there. So the free-to-play player has a big benefit in this game over other things. But there's been a huge discussion in one of the other gacha games, like I said, and it's really given me some food for thought here, okay? And the main thing I want to discuss here is the benefits that a normal whale has versus the benefits a whale has in this game. So normally in whales, they just spend, you know, gobs of money. I've seen people spend as much as you could spend on a new gaming console. You know, you could own a PlayStation or a new Xbox or both just for going after one unit. Not dupes, just one unit. So you got to kind of hold yourself for a moment and think about it. Okay, this game, in that respect, really not so bad. But there's a whole other level of quality I don't think people have realized we're getting out of this game. And before I go into that too much, I'm actually going to go ahead and use some of my paid iris myself just to kind of give you an idea of how much faith I put into this notion, okay? So this is not just me blowing smoke. This is something I've actually come to realize and take a ton of pride in, because when we put money into this game, we've been keeping this game alive for 5 years. And 5 years is a long time for a gacha game. A lot of gacha games just simply don't go this long. Especially not for, you know, let's face it, this is not, you know, your Dragon Balls or your Narutos or one of those. This is not that level of franchise. Sorry, guys, gonna burst your bubble right now. That's just the reality. Love this franchise, but it doesn't have that kind of pull. So, for a franchise this size, for the level of franchise we have, just realistically speaking, 5 years is a really long time. And the way we kept that going is by spending money, that paid average you see up there. Every time I go down here and I buy a bundle, and I'm actually going to start with this bundle right here. I love these. These are really inexpensive, a great entry-level way to get in here. It is not 4-star guaranteed, but for 100 paid, that's what? What is 100 paid? Let's go in here. USD, Iris. 100 paid is $8. $8. You're gonna spend that like 3 times throughout the whole event. That's nothing. That's literally nothing. Like, you can afford that. Most people out there can afford that. Now, I'm one of these people. I will buy probably every bundle during the anniversary. I pay the $40 a month to get every single benefit that they have in the monthly packs. But I've been supporting this game for a really, really, really long time, and I happened to realize the other day that something I'm getting out of this something that I'm getting out of my investment that I never really understood just until this whole argument came up. And it kind of stems back to, as you guys know, we have the story we have right now kind of goes back to the 2nd anniversary. All right, I'm going to kind of ramble a little bit here because I'm just trying to get my thoughts together. But this kind of is like, think of the 2nd anniversary, the Argonaut story, as like the mainline Danmachi franchise. This is kind of like Sword Oratoria for that franchise, but they're related. And in that way, 2nd anniversary is canon, so you could argue this is canon as well. In fact, I would probably base this off of some of the other things we know about Finn, probably more from the light novels than the series and all that stuff. This could easily be argued canon. Now, we know for a fact that 2nd anniversary is canon. 3rd anniversary has been confirmed canon. 4th anniversary, probably not. 4th anniversary seems way too far out there to be canon. And 1st anniversary, we don't want to talk about that. That was a whole other animal. But if you think about it, of the 5 anniversaries, we got 3 canonical anniversaries, and there's already been talk that the 2nd anniversary, the entire Argonaut story, is going to finally be developed into a full working light novel. That is, what are we working on? We're coming up on, I believe, the 18th light novel in the main franchise. We have nearly that. I think we're, 16? I can't remember. On the Sword Oratoria side, I'm bad. I haven't read Sword Oratoria. Sorry. I'm a bad fan. I've not read Sword Oratoria's all the light novels. So, unfortunately, I didn't get a 4-star here, but we're guaranteed to get a 4-star in this next bundle we're going to buy. So, we're basically going to be getting a light novel solely because of how well this game has done. If you really think about it, that's kind of the way this works, right? So, Omori takes these stories that are, I guess, in the back of, in the back of his mind, whatever they've been developed to a certain point, and then they get turned into these big events that we get for the anniversaries, right? And those anniversary stories becoming, I'm going to buy this one right here. These anniversary stories basically becoming light novels means that every whale that's out there right now that is spending money in this game is not just supporting Riot Flyer, not just supporting the game, but is also supporting Omori. And is actually like, for that reason, we're now getting more light novels. That's every free-to-play player out there right now that's watching this video. If you pick up that light novel and you read that light novel, you have the whales of this game to thank merely for that light novel's existence. And that's real, because honestly, if people were spending money in this game, we would not have that. Now, that's not to tell people they have to spend money in this game. I still, to this day, will just tell people how amazingly free-to-play this game is and how much I love this game. And I think there's actually kind of, I hate to say a reverse psychology aspect to it, but it does kind of feel that way. There's very, very much kind of a reverse psychology type of feel that way, because I think the more free-to-play a game like this is, the more people you're going to attract for that very reason. And the more people you attract for that very reason, the more people can play this game, and the more whales are going to come to the game, and therefore, it's kind of a give and a take situation there. So, another way to look at this, we'll go ahead and draw one of these real quick while we're doing that. Should be 4-star guaranteed. I've got a few units I need out of here. I've not maxed anybody yet, so anybody get out of this is golden. If it's Lazar, though, I'm going to be a little upset. We're really hoping for doubles. Triples be on point, though. So, let's get back to it. Basically, if you think about it, the Winter Reverie, what was that? 2-3 winters ago? I don't remember. The Winter Reverie event recently just got turned into its own manga. It's now canon. The second anniversary is canon. The third anniversary could very well be turned into its own light novel somewhere along the line. It's canon. You have a gacha game that has expanded the lore of this whole franchise by a massive amount. All because of the whales. So that means for me personally, and yes, I've spent a decent amount of money in this game. Every dime that I've spent in this game, I will be able to go look at here in, 10, 12 years' time. I'll be able to pick up that light novel, the Argonaut light novel, and read that light novel and say, if it weren't for me at this moment, right now that I'm talking to you guys, having spent my 800 paid Iris, I'm going to probably spend a little bit more during the anniversary. Let's see what we got. Okay, so that's a Ryulu. I'll take that, though. I will take that, though. So, for me not having spent this money, for me not, chasing that Ryulu dupe, I would not have basically been able to pick up that light novel. The Winter Reverie manga, all that good stuff. Off a 3-star ticket, y'all. Another 4-star. Let's go. Let's go. So, I know we've been complaining the rates are bad and all that stuff, and I totally agree with you. New phone? Okay. I was trying to remember. That's Helga. I'll take that. Can we get a second? So basically, the long and the short of it is, for those of you that are out there spending money in gacha games, think about the value you're getting out of it, because I still spend money in other gacha games, but that's because I'm a content creator. I'm still producing something for you guys, and there's a give and a take to that as well. But at the end of the day, every other gacha game I play, when that game's done, and every game's going to have a finish line, we got a double off a 3-star ticket, y'all. Let's go. Another Helga dupe. I think that's Helga Max the Unbroken now. I think Helga's MLB. Daddy like. So, no. Is that my first? I thought I got Helga. Apparently it's my first Helga. Never mind. I'm going to edit that MLB statement out. Anyway, back to my main point. So for all this money I've been spending and for all this I've been doing, I'll be able to see something tangible about that here in basically for the rest of my existence. All of those light novels, I'll be able to pick them up and say, we as a community playing these games collectively did a thing. We basically convinced the writer of the original light novels, we convinced Amori to create more content for the whole of the fans. No other gacha game does that. Not that I'm aware of. There might be one or two out there. If there are, definitely let me know. I think it would be fantastic. There are other gacha games that are like one-off stories, and great. I'd love to see, hear about those becoming light novels and stuff like that. But largely, for the most part, most gacha games, at least that I'm aware of, when they're gone, they're gone. What are you going to get out of them? For me, these gachas, I'm going to save that one. We're going to do that one on stream, even though that is kind of a whale gacha. Everything that we've got here, all of this stuff, none of this probably would have been a thing had the whales not picked it up and said, okay, cool. We love this idea. Let's roll with it. And I'm really excited. I think that's a really interesting, I guess, unique situation that we as Danmachi fans are in. I don't know, let me know you guys' thoughts in the comments down below. I didn't really script this one out. I wanted it to be more off the cuff. I know it's kind of me rambling a little bit and just doing some summons and whatnot. But I like these very candid discussions because, it's just thought-provoking to me to really think about what I'm getting out of this game, what other people are getting out of this game. Because frankly, it's not to shame the free-to-play players. The free-to-play players, you're necessary. Having, a couple million free-to-play players is going to bring a few thousand whales to the board. And frankly, we've got to have a little bit of each. Thank you. I appreciate that hesitate that I've had Max them broken forever. That's all right. Well, if you're being picky about my 4 stars. So let me know what you guys think about all this. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? If you've spent tons of money on this game, is this something you've considered? If you're free to play, how do you feel about it? Let's have a really interesting discussion about it down below because it's not something I'd really thought about and I'm not even sure I quite articulated it properly. I'd love to get everyone's take on it down below. Keep it civil, guys, and I will catch you guys for the live stream. Yes, the live streams are coming back. So a lot of you guys have asked. I've been under the weather. Live stream will be back tomorrow, and we will continue the 5th anniversary story tomorrow evening.